Hello. Welcome on back to my channel. In honor of the Halloween season, I am replicating one of my most favorite glams from one of my most favorite characters of all time, the iconic Miss Cruella de Vil. I couldn't think of a better fit for a model than one of my dearest friends, Colleen Heidemann. So huge thank you to Colleen for being our canvas today, and a huge shout out to City Beauty for partnering up with me for this tutorial. So without further ado, if you want to learn how I created this look right here, then keep on watching. So to begin, I'm using the City Beauty Multi-Action Sculpting Cream to prep Colleen's skin with. I start by applying this onto the general areas of the face before I start to really massage it in. I chose to use this cream today because the formula of this helps support the appearance of skin thickness and elasticity, providing a lifting and firming effect for a sculpted look. In fact, the ingredients used in this formula has shown to create an immediate tightening effect, and we all love that. And especially since today's look is going to be pretty dramatic, which means there's going to be quite a bit of makeup involved, I want to make sure Colleen's skin is well prepped and hydrated and plumped for the products we'll later be using. Plus, makeup lays and blends on top of this really, really well. It doesn't pill up or anything like that, you know what I mean? I like the ingredients they use in this. I love that it's formulated without any parabens or without any sulfates, and it's an overall really fantastic luxury cream that I enjoy using. So once I have this well applied to Colleen's skin, I'm going to head over to the City Beauty Lid Lifting Treatment to apply onto her lids. This, I think you'll even be able to notice as I apply it, gives the smoothing effect to the skin. And if you're someone who's experiencing saggy eyelids, this treatment is great because it nourishes and energizes the skin to lift and firm the appearance of sagging eyelids while instantly softening the look of fine lines and wrinkles. It has a lot of great ingredients too. I'm going to list down below their website so you can check out the products for yourself. For the next week, they were nice enough to give us 30% off site-wide with code Spencer, and then it's back to the 15% off after the week is up. And by the way, with this product, I like bringing it all the way up to the brow bone and around the eye towards the temples. And later on, you'll see how easy this makes blending of the eyeliner and the shadows for me. It works like a charm. All right, now that we have the skin prepped, I'm using the Say What foundation from Uoma Beauty and applying this on with a makeup sponge. I just recently started using this foundation and I'm enjoying it because it does feel weightless, really, on the skin. It gives a vibrant matte finish. It's hydrating. It's long-lasting. It comes in a ton of different shades, and the coverage is adjustable. You can sheer it out if you're looking for light coverage, or you can add on another layer if you're looking for something a little more full coverage. Today, though, I'm kind of going somewhere in between. I'm going to be pretty generous with the concealer I use later, so I'm sticking to a medium coverage look for this foundation. Once I have this applied, I'm using the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Bronzing Stick in the shade Light Medium, and applying this to the areas of the face I want to add dimension and warmth to, such as below the cheekbones and the perimeter of the forehead. And I do like to apply on this cream product with a face brush. I think it just gives me the softest results at the end. Next up, for concealer, I'm using the One Size Turn Up the Base Buttersilk Concealer and applying this to the areas of the face I want to conceal and highlight, such as her under eye area, her brow bone, center of the forehead, her chin, and down the center of her nose. And then I'll head back to my makeup sponge to blend everything in. Now, as I said a minute ago, I'd be going in heavy-handed with concealer today, which is why I didn't go too full coverage with the foundation, but you can tailor this to make it your own, especially if you're at a particular age and you find that because you have a lot of fine lines around the eyes, or the skin isn't as tight as it used to be, you don't have to be as dramatic with the concealer as I am today. But with Colleen, her skin really can handle a lot of makeup. I think she looks just as beautiful without any makeup as she does with a face full of it. But because it's a makeup tutorial, I love going full glam with Colleen. She loves it, everyone loves it, and it's Cruella, for goodness sakes. Cruella isn't stepping out the door with a tinted moisturizer and some chapstick. No. Cruella is a full glam kind of gal, so that's what we're gonna go for today. But first, let me finish blending this out. Alrighty, so now that we have this blending just about done, I'm going to use the one size translucent powder to set and lock the makeup into place. I start by applying the powder on with a powder puff to around the eyes before I move on to setting the rest of the makeup. And honestly, I feel like it's this step that people get the most nervous about, or at least those who have more mature skin, because powder kind of does have this stigma that it can make the skin around the eyes look really wrinkly and cakey and all, but that's not always the case. Even today on Colleen, I'm going to bake in different areas with a heavier amount of powder, but it's all about how you use it, making sure that good skincare is well applied and being sure that you use a quality setting powder. That really makes all the difference. I think y'all can tell when I really like a product because you'll constantly see me use it in these tutorials, and this one size powder is just, you know, one of those products. It's reliable, it does the job, looks beautiful in the skin, and yeah, I just love it. Okay, here you see me using the powder to bake her jawline. This will help sharpen that contour and give a bit more dimension to the face. And I'll do the same underneath the eyes, but you know, not just to brighten the under eye area, but also to help catch any fallout from the eyeshadows that we may get later on when I do the eyeshadow look. And of course, we'll wipe all this powder off later. Until then, I'm going to begin on the brows. Today, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pencil in the shade Soft Brown to draw on her brows. I like to make sure I have this pencil super sharp, and then little by little, I start filling in the shape I want to create. And I'm going to speed this footage up a bit because it's kind of a lengthy process, but you'll get the idea here. On Colleen, I usually use the shade Taupe, and I find that to be a really natural color on her, but I went slightly darker today because, well, you know, for the hair, I'm coloring half of it black for the iconic CRUELLA half black, half white hairstyle. Also, I wanted the brows to be a little more intense for this look, not just in the color, but also in the shape. I'm really arching it up and outwards to really lift the eye shape and give us more of a dramatic feel. I also thought about going in for a second with a black eyebrow pencil, but I don't know. I feel like it would have been a little too much. Although this is a Halloween character look, I still want to make it wearable for any other time of the year. You know what I mean? Now, of course, you may have to tweak a few things, but for the most part, you can apply many of the same techniques and the products I'm using today to create a dramatic glam for any time of the year that you want to rock it. Now for the eye makeup, I'm using this black Inglot gel liner and applying a good amount of this to the outer half of the eye before I start buffing it out. And because we're going to buff out the edges, you don't really have to worry about getting this placement, you know, too perfect. Just get the product onto the lid and we'll worry about all the details later. It's when it comes down to this blending step that I really see the difference in using that City Beauty lid lifting treatment we had used earlier. Not only is that gel liner, you know, gripping right onto the lid, but I find the edges of it tend to blend out way easier and smoother with that treatment underneath it than it would without it. I mean, overall, if you think about it, this is quite an easy eye makeup look. All you need is a gel liner, a little shadow, and bada bing bada boom, that's all we need. For the first shadow, I'm using this black shade from the MORPHE and Ashley Strong Affirmation Magic Artistry palette, and using this to further smoke out that gel liner. And if you notice here, there's barely any fallout, and that's because the shadow has something to grip onto, which is that gel liner. I find that to be key with doing a really dark, dramatic, smoky eye like the one we're doing here today, especially if you want to do your complexion products first, like me, and then the eye makeup afterwards. Applying a cream or gel base will help from the shadow falling down onto the face as you apply it. For the next shade, I'm using this emerald colored shade from the same eyeshadow palette and just pressing that right on top. Call me old school, but the inspiration for this CRUELLA look is actually from the cartoon era. That's the CRUELLA I grew up watching as a kid, and that CRUELLA always had this iconic green eyeshadow paired with a red lip. But instead of doing a bright green, I think doing this moodier emerald green looks really beautiful and subtle and still dramatic and glam on Colleen. Okay, for lashes, I'm using this style called Drop from the Kiss Lash Drip collection, and it really brings this whole eye look together and on a whole other level. This collection is supposed to resemble wet looking lashes, which you all always hear me say I love that look, so I think it's really cool that they came out with these. They're dramatic, they're only a few dollars, and we both loved them, so there's that. Now, before I apply on lipstick, I'm using the City Lips Clear Plumping Lip Gloss to prep Colleen's lips with. I love this stuff. You've seen me use it a handful of times on my channel. It's a plumping formula, so it has a slight tingling effect, and after just a few minutes, the lips are noticeably plumper. The trick with this I've found is to barely take this beyond your natural lip line, and you'll see after a few minutes, it'll create a tint of natural color and fullness, which also helps fade any fine lines that you may have as well around the lips. So I'm going to come back to the lips in just a minute, but first apply this Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Powder Blush in the shade Desert Rose. This color is perfect for today. Because I'm doing a bold red lip, I prefer for the blush to be more understated. I think sometimes it becomes, like a little too much when there's a lot of color on the lip and on the cheeks. So this earthy rose color adds back a little vibrancy to the face, but without having to compete with the red lip. For highlighter, I'm using this MAC Soft and Gentle highlighter to add some extra glow to the skin. You can take this up on the brow bone and down the bridge of the nose and all, but really, I'm kind of loving this soft matte look on Colleen. So I'm just using this on the highest points of her cheekbones. Now for lips, I'm using this liquid cream lipstick from M Cosmetics in the shade Love, and this is really the only color I'm using today, but you'll notice there'll be a lot of dimension to this red lip, almost a subtle ombre effect, and that's because what I've done here off camera is I've mixed in the slightest bit of that black gel liner we used earlier into this red liquid lipstick, which has created a deeper toned red, and that's what I'm using to line her lips with here. Then for the center of the lip, I'm using the liquid lipstick alone, as is without the black gel liner in there, so we'll have that brighter red orange in the center. It just turned out so beautiful. The bold red lip with the black and white dress. Ugh, guys, the dress that she's wearing at the end is just incredible. I have to give it up to the designers, Ryan and Walter. They're the absolute best. I'll link their information down below. I literally could not have done this look without them. It turned out so stunning. All right, once we have this red lip complete and perfected, I'm using the One Size Until Dawn setting spray to set and lock this makeup into place, which makes this the final step in how I created this iconic Cruella look on the naturally beautiful Colleen. There we have it, kids. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out more of my work on my Instagram at Painted by Spencer. And until next time, I'll see you soon.